Today on Trend, we'll visit Staying Creative Gallery to see a totally inspiring space. We'll give you the 101 on trendy and classic office chairs. And Noah shows us all the character in luxury living. Ingrid, I always feel so spoiled. You take me to the coolest properties. This is amazing.
Isn't this just exceptional? Here in the village of Brentwood Bay, we've got these extraordinary and exciting live-work units that were part of the original Arbors condo project that I sold almost 3 years ago.
Right.
This is a collaboration with local developer Grant Rogers, who also had a project in Sydney and several others on the go. Really quality, commitment to community, and also being willing to experiment with a new opportunity to revitalize a village that we're starting to see in Brentwood Bay coming alive.
Well, this is such a cool space. It's very cutting edge. I think it's almost like any artist's dream.
Well, and a dream it was. I first got to meet Chris and Nate, who are the owners of the Staying Creative Gallery that is officially open today.
Yeah.
And that was back over 7 years ago. We also had a condo down in the Union Building downtown, where they were really starting to garner their reputation as up-and-coming artists, not really realizing how talented they were and now are becoming. And
they're extremely talented.
it's just such a humble approach with a real commitment to their craft, and also being willing to think outside the box. When they first started to think about making their dream a reality of creating their own studio space, I just had that aha moment, and I thought this live work would be absolutely perfect for them.
And let's talk about the studio space for a second, because what I am so jealous of is all the natural light down in this area, and whether you're doing art or interior design or any of those things where you may be working in this space, the natural light is key.
With these overheight ceilings and just the connection to the street, it's so fun when I've been driving by and seeing Nate right in action on his canvas
Yes.
right through the front doors. It really is such an exciting adventure for them, and I'm so glad to have been part of the process. And for them to have the ability to not only create this new amazing studio, but have a beautiful new home to live in as well, right as part of the space.
What's more convenient? I mean, really, the get to work stage is pretty minimal.
And again, a real testament to the developer, where they created these very high quality finished homes that offer just a great space with your kitchen, dining, living upstairs,
Right.
Along with their artist lounge, where they can invite their customers in to talk about custom pieces. And they have their own sanctuary downstairs, complete with a beautiful outdoor Zen patio that
Oh,
they've
yes.
just created an amazing oasis.
And it's so beautiful in Brentwood. You wouldn't necessarily be able to get all of this downtown.
Well, and that's the story I'd love for Nate and Chris to give you a little bit of a backstory, how they came to realize that this could be their dream.
Christopher, this is such a cool space. I don't want to say that I'm jealous, but I really am.
Totally. It's one of the best spaces we've seen. We fell in love with it the moment Ingrid showed it to us.
It is perfect for an artist studio. I mean, in interior design, the natural light is so important, and it's just the same for you guys.
Exactly. We came at night and it was dark, and we fell in love with it then, and then we asked to come in the next day, and it was so bright. It was unbelievable.
Well, and with your artwork, I mean, it's so stunning as it is, but then it just pops in this light, and especially with the blank canvas behind it, it is perfect.
Definitely, yeah, I completely agree. The big white walls, they just invited us to put our art pieces up, and Nate's pieces just pop, all the colors pop off the white walls, and friends of ours were like, oh, are you gonna paint the walls different colors? We're like, no, they're staying white. They gotta stay white.
And so with this space, you have so much room for the lounge, for the gallery, and then for your own space downstairs. You wouldn't have necessarily been able to find this downtown. Were you open to Brentwood?
Not at first. We were actually looking at moving back east.
Oh,
We
really?
asked Ingrid to chat with us to sell our place, and we had found a beautiful little home back east and lots of property and stuff. And then she's like, okay, I got one place to show you first. We're like, okay, let's take a look. And it was like, we walked in and it was our dream. Our dream came
Wow.
true, essentially.
And she's so amazing at listening to her clients and getting to know them and really being able to bring some offers to the table that you might not have thought of.
Exactly. She knew exactly what we were looking for. And we
you
didn't
put-
even know.
And you put your trust in her.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
So what are some of the things that you love about this space?
I personally love just having the downstairs separate from the rest of the space so that when we're done, we can go down, we can hide, we can have our little sanctuary outside, we can have a cup of coffee out on the patio, and even the patio is secluded from the street, even though it's
Right.
right next to the street.
And this is a main street in Brentwood, but you don't get all the noise and bustle. It's still nice and quiet here.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice and quiet. At nighttime, it's like downtown in Chinatown where we were. As soon as like 5 o'clock came around, it just quieted down. And same here, around 5 o'clock, it's just quiet, and you hear laughing outside, and there's no, speeding cars or anything. It's such a beautiful place.
Well, and I think you just picked the perfect spot to be creative in.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we're very lucky for it. Yeah, definitely.
Water bowls on your patio or on your deck are fantastic, but after a while, you really need to know how to maintain them. So when you're putting them together, the main thing you need to know is that you need water movement, you need to have more things taking nutrients out of the water than giving them, meaning don't feed your fish too much and make sure you got some plants in there, and then you'll have nice, clean water for a very long time, and it never look bad for you. So what we've got here is we have a water bowl that has a recirculating pump that's taking the water from here. It's upflowing through these plants. Now these are what they call marginal plants, and it goes through the root system, cleans the water, and then it goes back down. Now, if you want to have a few fish in there, you're going to be feeding them, so the bio load is going to go up a little bit. So it's always nice to put a few of these floating water hyacinths, which, by the way, if you have them in full sun, they have beautiful purple flowers and they look great. So if you follow those really easy steps, you will have a great water feature and you'll be enjoying it for years.
Offices have changed a lot in the last 70 years. I'm in a booth. We want to find out how much they've changed. We're here at Monk Office, and we're going to see. You want options? There's options here for chairs.
Lots of chairs. After 70 years in this business, and considering that my great-grandfather had started his stationery company selling typewriters and ink, and now here we are.
It's come a long way.
It's come a really long way.
Because a Herman Miller chair, that's pretty iconic.
It's the jam, for sure.
Yes.
Have a seat. I want
Okay.
to show you how comfy these are.
So these are both Herman Miller chairs.
They are both Herman Miller chairs. And you are actually sitting in my favorite chair, the Cosm chair.
Wow.
And
It hugs your body.
Yeah,
and like there's no pressure on it. Just
nope, exactly. And what's fascinating about these particular chairs is that they just are meant to like fit you. Like these
And it
don't
does.
have these don't have a great deal of bells and whistles. And it's kind of fascinating that it's almost like a one size fits all for a chair,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't think, because we also know that it's important to have a chair that fits you. So it doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody.
No, and depending what your task is at work too.
Oh,
Like
exactly.
I feel like if I was sitting at a computer all day long, this really supports my upper back and such as well.
Yeah, and this chair comes in a lower back. It comes in and has different arms, different colors.
So you can really get the look and feel that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the chair that I'm sitting in is your classic Aeron chair, which is extremely popular. And it comes in 3 sizes. So it's A, B, or C. And that's primarily to ensure that it's fitting all different types of bodies, height, width, etc. So unlike yours, this one has more bells and whistles in the sense that you can adjust the arms up and down, in or out, the lumbar support, And these chairs too come in a range of colors and fabrics as well.
Which I love. You can have a bit of fun with it.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that something else that's important about the chairs is that when we think about moving to working from home, and if someone's in a smaller environment, then you also kind of want to have a chair that looks good in your space.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not something that you're going to shut the door and
wanna show it off.
Be proud of these. They are beautiful and they are extremely comfortable chairs, you know.
You've really incorporated Herman Miller into your entire family. It's ingrained in you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So when my dad was in the business for about 35 years, over time he has purchased probably about 4 Eames loungers, and I decided to name my puppy Eames.
Oh,
so
I love it.
it's an homage to my life as monk office, but also giving my dog a very unique name.
And classic.
And very classic.
There's so many aspects to interior design, and it really is a process. You want to start planning really far ahead in your project so that you have lots of time to think of all the different components and needs for a space. This office space is a great example of that. It was a project that we did with the Design Build Services. Each area has a very well thought out function to it. Take this kitchen, for example. We tried to make the largest island that we could so that all of the staff can be heating up their lunch together and not getting in each other's way, while having lots of seating to be able to discuss what's going on in the office space. They also have lots of different areas where they can collaborate and brainstorm. The lounge is a great example of this. It's a bit more casual, where you can have your clients and just be throwing the ideas around. The more planning you do in the beginning, the better it will turn out in the end. One of the biggest problems that I'm getting all the time is the whole fishbowl effect. Homes are a lot closer today, whether you're next to the road and people are looking in, or the condo with your neighbors. We're going to have a lot of answers given to us today how to avoid that. Ken, it's so great to be here today.
Thank you. It's really great that you're with us.
It's been 25 years that you've been in business now, and things have really evolved.
Absolutely. When I started in business in early '97, we were really reacting to the earthquake safety initiative that the province was on, and so we started out with security films or safety films, much like this product.
So what does that mean? That adheres to the glass?
It adheres very strongly to the glass, and so in the event the glass breaks, people are not injured.
Right. So what was the evolution after that for glass?
Well, people were talking to us about solar window films, you know, too much heat in my office, or I need great privacy, and so it evolved. And by early 2000s, I was really into solar window films and developing decorative privacy for people who wanted something different.
And what would be an example of that for a commercial project?
The most typical one is where lines are cut on a piece of machinery, so they're very exact and straight, and then there are different amounts of clear spacing between the bands of privacy frosting films.
And really, with your own printers, you can do all sorts of images, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with this machine here, here's an example of a product that is designed to create distraction, but you can still see the person working. And so it's just subtle privacy.
Right.
So that there's still lots of light coming through. Here's another example of work that we produced for someone's home office.
Okay.
And this is a design that's created on our printer. It's printed on optically clear film that's designed for a UV machine. And this is a piece of geometric graphic.
See, and I love this because that's where the creativity comes in. I think that the designs are probably endless.
Well, they are. Anything that you can photograph in high res, or anything that you can design in Vector, we can print an example. Actually, the uniqueness of this is printing an anti-bird strike window film. That again,
That's
we
interesting.
apply, so we print white dots. It's applied to this particular film, mounted to the outside of the window, and the dots are spaced specifically for that bird species. But when you're on the inside of the house and you're looking out, what we do is we color the backside of that dot to suit the forest scene or the sky. So it helps to make the dots disappear.
There you go. I think
Right.
the sky's really the limit when it comes to what we can do.
Go global with Newport Realty and Christie's International. With expansive coastline between the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, South Africa is home to a multicultural melting pot, offering beautiful, tranquil rural areas and up-to-the-minute cosmopolitan lifestyles. Many invest in Cape Town property to optimize the long 6 months of summer. You can find a lovely family home in the region of $400,000. These properties are situated in an exclusive estate of 13 homes. It offers panoramic views of False Bay, sweeping around to the southern view of Table Mountain, which can be seen from all living areas and bedrooms upstairs. The homes have palatial proportions and the high caliber finishes with a seamless flow from living areas to outdoor entertainment patios. Be aware and take precautions for safety whilst in South Africa, ensuring that valuable items are not easily accessible and doors are locked at night. I'm Alana Harris, going global with Newport Realty and Christie's International.
Noah, we're here in one of the most iconic buildings in Victoria.
Yes.
I love the Customs House.
Yes, as do I. I've had the pleasure of working with a couple of units here, and of course this particular unit is in the heritage part of the building. We have 2 bedrooms plus a den, 3 bathrooms, and of course you can see we have this amazing exposed brick original windows in the building as well. And
It really was a passion project for the developer because they salvaged a lot of the old facade,
they certainly did.
but you get these high-end, stunning finishes, high ceilings, and just a little bit of the brick to really add that softness.
You do, and there's really been a population that are really attracted to this kind of heritage conversion, that want the brick, that want that heritage, but of course they want all of the amenities.
Yes.
Sub-zero appliances. We have a beautiful wine wall behind us, of course. Spa-like bathrooms. The detail is impeccable in this particular building.
And this location, you couldn't find a better location. It's like you're a tourist in your own town.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we have the Parliament buildings, legislature in front of us, the Inner Harbor, and then of course we look right out to the Outer Harbor here.
Yes.
All of the activity that happens in this particular area. It really is an iconic building.
From an interior design standpoint, I think it almost becomes a bit of an issue with the furniture. It's like, do you want swivel chairs everywhere so you can just look at all of the amazing view?
Oddly enough, I suggested that to other clients of mine in the building
Yes.
around the fireplace, that they might have swivel so they can look at the legislature at night and they can swing around in the morning and look at the ocean. There's so many things that you can do with this space, and you would certainly know that.
And really the building has a lot of wonderful amenities as well.
It does.
Stunning fitness facilities, and even right from the very first when you walk into the lobby.
Concierge, when you walk in, you feel like you're in New York City. Once you're into the building, it's attached or combined in the center with a beautiful, as you said, gym. There's a steam room, a sauna room. There's a spin room. There's also a yoga space. So really, you don't need to leave the building to be able to utilize all of those amenities.
It's really about the lifestyle.
All about lifestyle here, and that's what I found with people who are purchasing at Customs House. They really want to be in the center of it all and have all of the amenities around them, so they don't have to leave.
No, it's true. And whether you've been in Victoria for your entire life or you're new to the city,
Yes.
I think this is a stunning location for anybody.
Absolutely agree, Amy. Absolutely.
But it's funny that you mentioned it having a concierge and all that kind of stuff, because
Yes.
I feel like your service to your clients is very similar. You just add that special touch to every single experience with them.
That's very kind of you to say,
So
and certainly that's what I enjoy doing about being a real estate agent, is being able to do that with my clients, making sure that they're happy from the very beginning until the moment I hand them their keys, and hopefully invite me over for a glass of wine.
Yeah, you make it fun. And that's a lot to say, especially in, a really hot market where there's a lot going on and you just want to find your dream home. It can be
Yes.
extremely stressful.
Certainly in the market we're in currently, it's been very difficult for people, and they've had to be patient and
Right.
really just take a deep breath and realize that if one thing doesn't come to fruition, that we will find another perfect home for them.
Absolutely.
It's really been a lot about patience during this period in time.
And also expertise, because by having you on their team,
Yes.
you're bringing that expertise to the table.
Yes, I think that's very important, because you need to be guided through the whole process.
You do.
And even for people who've doing it the first time, or maybe it's the 10th time they've done it,
Right.
you still have a lot of questions, and especially with a pre-built building like Customs House. You have a lot of questions, and it's been a long build out, almost 5 years.
Right.
So there's been a lot of questions during that period of time, and a lot of anticipation. And so you want to make sure when you get to that point that you're meeting that expectation as well. So that's always a pleasure for me.
Well, and that really is a trial of patience for 5 years. But you guys
Yes.
are also connected to Christie's International, so
Yes,
you
we
have
are.
that entire network.
We do. We have exposure all around the world, and we have people contacting us from around the world who are looking for properties such as this in beautiful Victoria. And so I think that's why we're seeing a lot of the people who have purchased here are from out of town.
Right.
Because they realize how special it is to live in Victoria and in the Inner Harbor.
You really get a piece of the vibrancy of the city and a little bit of the heritage as well.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful blend, and there's just no disappointments here.
Well, thank you for sharing this beautiful gem with us,
My
Noah.
pleasure. Thank you for coming.